first question that comes to mind in review of last year's plan was, if you can get 100,000 people out of here in 3.5 hours, why can't you get them in 13? Well, it's pretty simple. First of all, you have to have somewhere for them to go, and second of all, you have to keep them moving. There are now an additional 20,000 parking spaces. Now we have someplace for them to go, and we also have a plan to keep them moving. What worked last year? I know it's hard to believe that we believe anything worked, but actually our outbound plan worked really well. We were able to get 100,000+ people out of here in 3.5 hours. What didn't work last year? This has been discussed previously, and that's the parking plan. The aerial photographs clearly show many more vehicles could have been parked than were parked. Other deficiencies were noted. In reality, the failed parking plan never allowed us to implement our traffic plan. The vehicles were stopped or moving at a snail's pace, so we weren't really able to analyze whether or not the cone pattern that we had set up was working or not. So what are the changes we've made after review of all those incidents? First of all, the Speedway has hired a new parking vendor. Veteran security and parking has been hired, and they tell me this year they're going to have somewhere close to 300 parking attendants on site. That's double or even more double than what was here last year. Second of all, KSP has assumed a greater role in this year's plan. This year, KSP is in charge of traffic and parking.
If you're coming from the Cincinnati area, you're going to come down I-71 southbound to exit 57. You're going to get off at exit 57. You cannot go, if you want to go to the Speedway from Cincinnati, you're not going to be able to access it any other way than from exit 57. So we're going to have these lanes coned off to where they will be directed right up Kentucky 35. When they come up Kentucky 35, as the captain stated previously, all lanes will be coming inbound to the track to maximize our traffic flow. They'll get up here to roughly gate 3, and they'll have to make a decision. They're going to come into either the forward parking lots, or they're going to come into the lots up here, G, H, I, and J. And that's where they're going to come from initially, from the Cincinnati area. From the Louisville area, they're going to approach I-71 northbound to exit 55, which they'll go through the same coning process and be directed up Kentucky 1039. They'll access the Speedway from Speedway Boulevard, and they'll be parked in these respective lots right here. Is that we can track the geographics of where the tickets are sold through the officials here at the Kentucky Speedway, which gives us an idea of the traffic expectations from the northern area and the southern area. So that helps us in the parking allocation from the north end of the track and the south end of the track.
One deficiency that was noticed was the lack of communication about what was going on with traffic on race day. People that were in traffic didn't know how long they were going to be there. They didn't know if there was a wreck or if it was back up or what was going on. So this year, we've got a lot of different outlets that we're going to be putting out traffic information throughout the race day. One way we're going to be putting out the information is through the media. I'm going to be sending out traffic updates every half hour or sooner as warranted if something happens. The Kentucky State Police Facebook and Twitter pages, along with the Kentucky Speedway Facebook and Twitter pages, are going to have the same traffic updates that you all get every half hour or sooner as needed. We've been putting messages out through Facebook and Twitter for several weeks now, so our followers know to check that out on race day. Also, when you all put it out, I know you'll put it on your Facebook and Twitter pages as well, so we think we've covered most areas we can cover that people will use to find out that information.